So now you've got the basic put together hat. Alright, so what you want to do is, if you remember a while ago, we double seamed all these overhangs, or seams is actually what they're called. We double stitched them to be correct. But so what we're going to do is we're going to lay these down flat, and then we're going to run another stitch right through here all the way around this part of the hat. So, and one thing I wanted to show you is when you're doing that, you end up getting kind of a wide stitch. Now this up here moves your needle. Okay, so what I like to do is max it all the way out to the left side. Now if you see this little line right here on the pressure foot, what that does is that will give you can see kind of how close it is between your needle and this line, and using that for a reference point, if it'll focus, using that for a reference point will get you pretty close to where you don't miss any of your seam. So anyway, I'm gonna run that, and I'll show you the results in just a second. I'll show you in just a second. All right. Okay, so two little quick deals that I missed. One, I wanted to show you the seam. I usually line up the stitch with the little mark on the presser foot, and that's how the reference, the reference that I was talking about as far as your needle goes with your stitch. The other thing is right here, sometimes you get a big clump of fabric, and the presser foot doesn't have any problem going over it, but your needle has a lot of trouble going through it. So as you can see right here, I just took, and right here I cut a piece of fabric out. Now make sure when you cut it that you don't get so far over that you get into your actual stitch and cut, because it will cut a hole in it. But that's just kind of a little I don't know what you call it, a maneuver to relieve some pressure on the seam. So anyway, I'm gonna finish that up and I'll show you in a second. Okay, so now what you got is the basic, which it goes all the way through the top of the hat, but the contrast on the yellow is a lot easier to see if it'll focus. But you got a seam that goes all the way around the top of the hat, and now everything that is exposed to the outside has been stitched twice. So we're gonna go do some ironing, and I'll show you how that works in just a second. So now what you want to do is come around the end of your ironing board and fold your headband back underneath itself. Okay, so this right here is pretty much the only part that hasn't been double stitched is your headband, and you want all of it to be double stitched, because if you get pieces of thread that get burned, you want to have some backup. So you're going to want to get that real good and flat. That way when you run it through the sewing machine, it doesn't try to pull or bind up on you. So we're going to go around the whole headband like that and get everything good and flat. Okay. So same thing with this part of it. After we get it all ironed and flat, we're going to reference our seam with our little mark right there and our needle, and then we're going to run the whole length of this all the way around the headband. So here you go. I got it all sewed around the edge. Here's the outside of it. You can see it. Alright, and also what I did is now we have to double stitch the top of the headband. See if I can get it focused. So what I did is folded it down and just made little tack stitches, just so I could get a reference in 4 places. So what I'm gonna do now is hang it over the end of the ironing board and just do a quarter section at a time, and I'm going to iron that seam flat. So now I got it all ironed. Come on, focus. There it is. Now I got it all ironed and even with the seam in the back. You can kind of see the stitch right there above it. And now we're going to double stitch it. So I'll show you whenever that's done. There it is. Big and deep for a big old ball, soup bone, wrecking ball, watermelon head. Everything's double stitched. Deep, covering the ears, covering the neck. And that's it. That's simple. I guess the cost is, you know what, I've had that thread forever, so I'm not really sure how much, but it's generally, I get 2 yards, which is going to give you, if you don't already know, 2 yards, about 6 foot. And with about 3 or 4 of the fat quarters, I usually end up with a tab of about $25 to $35. And with that much material, I can usually make 12 to 12.5 hats. So you do the math. It's cheap, easy. I made this one just a little big because the twill, what the twill does, and especially the regular cotton, when you wash it and dry it the first time, it will shrink. So I like to do them a little big. Don't do them too big because not gonna do right. But so yeah, don't be scared of it. Y'all go do it. If it seems a little intimidating at first, because I was intimidated too, but go ahead and mess up a couple times, and you'll figure out what you like and how to do it and what you ran into and change it. And if you don't, be sure and share it with somebody who might want to do it. So if you know somebody with a big old head, get them a sewing machine, let them make some welding caps. It's Empire South, baby. Make sure and find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, all that. Go ahead and subscribe, comment while you're down there. Let me know what you think. If you want me to get a little more in depth, or if you want to see some more sewing projects, I don't mind. So anyway, that's it. Hope you like it. If you did like it, make sure and like it. And I'll see y'all next time. Y'all go do something.